Hello students, in previous video we have studied about nuclear fission, which is the first type of nuclear reaction that can release energy. Now apart from that, the second type that can release nuclear energy is nuclear fusion reaction that we are going to study in this video. So nuclear fusion is a process opposite to that of fission. In fission, one nucleus was breaking into two fragments along with some neutrons, while in case of fusion, two light nuclei combine together to form a single heavier nucleus. Then such kind of reaction is called nuclear fusion reaction. So we can define this reaction as a process in which nuclear fusion is a process in which two lighter nuclei combine to form a single heavier nucleus. Then this process is called nuclear fusion. For example, two protons when combined, they give us a deuteron and a positron with a release of some energy. The reaction for it is the two protons, that is 1h1 plus 1h1. When these two combine, it gives us 1h2, that is deuteron, plus a positron and some amount of energy. This amount of energy is equal to 0.42 MeV. So this is a type of nuclear fusion reaction. In the process of nuclear fusion, we are combining two positively charged nucleus to form a heavier nuclei. That heavier nucleus, that means these two positive charged nucleus has to overcome the high electrostatic force of repulsion between them at extremely small distances. If they overcome that distance, if they overcome that potential barrier, only then they can combine or fuse together to give a heavier nucleus. And the height of this Coulomb barrier or potential barrier depends on the charges and the radii of two colliding nuclei. So this point we have to note, that to combine together or to fuse together, these two nuclei has to overcome the electrostatic repulsion force between them, force at short distances, and it depends on the, or we can say that they have to overcome the potential barrier. And the extent of this potential barrier depends on two factors. The first is the positive charge present on the nucleus, and second is the radii of the colliding nuclei. So radii of that highly charged colliding nuclei and the positive charge present on those nuclei, these two factors affect this potential barrier. If this potential barrier is strong, it takes more temperature and pressure to overcome that potential barrier. So there are two necessary conditions for nuclear fusion, right? So these are the necessary condition. First is, nuclear fusion can only be observed if there is high temperature, and second condition is there must be high density or pressure, right? So it is high pressure or density is the second condition. If these two necessary conditions are fulfilled, only then these two positively charged nucleus can fuse together. Otherwise they show electrostatic force of repulsion between them, but because of this high temperature and high pressure, they overcome that potential barrier because of the positive charge and get fused together to give a heavier nucleus. and such high temperature and high pressure conditions are present in the interior of sun. That's why in the interior of sun, the source of energy, not even sun only, in stars. So in the interior of sun or stars, the source of energy that we have is nuclear fusion reaction, and the fusion take place via two different cycles. First is proton proton cycle, and the second is carbon nitrogen cycle. So these two cycles of nuclear fusion reaction are responsible for energy that we are getting in the interior of sun or stars. So that's all for the video for nuclear fusion. For further videos, stay tuned and keep studying. Thank you.